Hey, 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 Facebook. Hey, 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 how is everyone? Hey, hey, hey. I'm gonna take just a few minutes for the audience to build. I need to reach up. Hi, y'all gonna see me. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Hey, hey, hey. I needed to get my phone down. Hey, everyone. Let me just take a few minutes. I always like to go and see. Hey, hey, when you come on, say hello to me. I've got the chat up, I've got the comments. Hey, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Listen, I want to talk a little bit about consistency. And that's what I title this. When you come on, just say hello to me. Let me know. Hey, Patricia. I've been missing you, sis. I hope all is well. Thank you so much. Man, oh man, I love my tribe. And I first of all just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone that showed up and prayed. I am telling you, listen, I don't even know what else to say other than the victory is mine. But sick grandbaby and spiking. Hey, Lynn, I need to call you, Lynn. We need to catch up. But a sick grandbaby and then a very close, very, very close family member of mine. They are still in the hospital, but all is well. God is bringing them through that process. And so I am so grateful for everybody that extended your prayers. And I realize at the age of 50 that people don't have to do and be nice. And so when they do, I want to make sure that I'm always showing my gratitude for what they do. Hey, Monica, how are you? Lakeisha, how are you? So I want to talk a little bit about consistency today. I want to talk about the power. Hey, Janelle, how are you? Pastor Janelle, God bless you. Again, I was just saying to everybody, thank you so much for praying. I can't wear my contacts. I've been having problems with my eyes for since last week. So it's just been, I've been challenged. Someone shared with me that the warfare is over. For my church folks, y'all get it. I've been in warfare for about 3 weeks now, 2.5, 3 weeks. But I feel joy and I am so excited. I've decided that I'm not engaging where I don't need to engage. I just need to stay in this path of where I am. So, but I want to talk a little bit about consistency. I want to talk about the power in being consistent. And one of the things that we're working on is I've put together a program. We've got some exciting things that are rolling out. So I'm really, really, really thrilled on the direction and the agency and what's happening in the agency. God has sent me an amazing staff, and I'm really excited about them and what they are doing, what they bring to the table. And I've got a lot of people that say, I sent out a post last week and people are saying, how do you do it? And guys, I'm telling you, I made a pivot in the middle of the pandemic, and I went from making that pivot to within 6 months creating, it was actually a little bit less, but within that time period, creating a multiple 6-figure business. And, yes, there were some building blocks that I had in place that I was able to grow from, but it was still a matter of growth. And it was a matter of doing the work, and it was a matter of showing up. And that's what I want to talk about is the show up. And can I say that show up, it doesn't matter if you are starting a new business, if you're working on a new project, if you're launching a ministry, if you're growing something, it doesn't matter what you are doing. And so I may combine, hey, Dorothea, love me some you. I may combine a little bit of the church girl with a little bit of the business side of me, because I need to tell somebody that you've got to realize that when God set you on a path of purpose, and when God has uniquely gifted and anointed you for some things, that there will be distractions. There will be things that will try and shake you, things that will try and get you off your game. People will come, and sometimes people don't even realize what they are doing. And they don't realize, like, you literally are letting the enemy use you right now, and I ain't got time for it. And you've got to be so focused on what is your vision, what is your goals, what are you looking for, what do you desire, what is that outcome that you are seeking, that you allow nothing to shift you from that purpose. And I need to tell you, listen, that consistency is your key. That when you realize the power of how you show up, and that when you show up, with a way that elevates where you are to taking you to where you desire to be, then you position yourself to receive a greater portion, a greater level, right? But if you are haphazardly showing up, listen, let me just tell you, you can't haphazardly do stuff and expect a consistent outpour. You've got to be consistent in what you've been called and purposed to. So if it's business, right? You guys know my edible arrangement story. Our store hours were Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., period. So whether I had an employee there or not, either me or my cheering were going to open up that business and be there from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. We weren't late. My kids will tell me today, Mama, we hate edible arrangements. You know why? Because it taught them work ethic. It was a proving ground to see, are you going to be found worthy of what you say you want? And can I tell you that even as you begin to elevate to a 7-figure income, there is a total different level of a mindset and a posture that goes along with it. But you develop that while you are developing your 6-figure business. You develop that while you are in the trenches. You develop that with the discipline that you put in place. You develop that with the consistency that you say, this is my focus and I can't allow myself to get off of that. And so I need to say that. So those were our hours. We didn't close early because the kids had cheerleading. We didn't close early because Mama didn't feel like it. We didn't close early because I wanted to go play golf. We didn't close early. We opened and we closed when we said that we would. It was just that simple. So what did that mean for us? And I'm painting a picture here about the power of consistency. What did that mean? That meant that Mother's Day, we were there. Father's Day, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Valentine's, Boss's Day, Admin Assistant's Day, St. Patty's Day. Listen, they had so many days that I was like, listen, every day is a day. Football kickoff day, playoff week. I mean, it did not matter. There was always something, and we had to show up. If I didn't show up, I couldn't expect my rent to be paid, my payroll to be met, my employees to be taken care of. I couldn't expect it. Right? But I had to show up. And that's what I need to tell you. If you are going to successfully grow your business, number one, pick something and run with it. I am over. Y'all, I'm fussing today. I didn't mean to go through all of this. I was supposed to be making this quick because I need to go get my nails done. But listen, I am over this. This week you're doing this. That week you're doing this. That week you're doing this. That week you're doing this. Put your stake in the ground and stick with it. Yes, you're going to have adversity. No, it's not going to be easy. Yes, you're going to be challenged. Yes, you're going to have crap to happen. Y'all, if I could tell you all the crap. Oh, Lord. If I could tell y'all all the crap that has happened to me in business. If I could tell you what it's like to show up 2 days before Father's Day and your delivery vehicle is stolen. Like when I talk about this stuff, I need to look at the comments. I'm so sorry. Yes, 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 y'all. Yes. Like who starts a business? Who has this business and like literally 2 days before one of the biggest holidays, my delivery van is stolen. Like I can't make this stuff up. I absolutely can't make this stuff up. Not only is the van stolen, but the guy who steals it takes police on a high-speed chase through 3 or 4 different counties, right? And it's all like, I got people on the radio, it's on the news, everybody's like, Michelle, is that your fruit truck? Yes. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. My first Valentine's, my cooler went out. Like, what am I going to do when I can't keep my fruit cold? It goes bad. So I literally have over $10,000 of inventory in the cooler, and it's 80 degrees in there. What am I going to do? But the consistency says, not only do I show up, but I got a game plan on how to stay in place. See, some of you show up, but you show up only in certain aspects. You show up when it feels good. You show up when things are going your way. You show up when you can see your way through it, but then you don't know how to stay in that place when hell breaks loose. When they tell you that, oh, your van been stolen, or when your cooler goes out, or when your employees decide not to show up and you got 1,000 baskets that's got to be made. Not only do you have to show up, but you got to stay present with it. Y'all, nobody is going to love your baby more than you do. Find the right people who will capture your vision and run with it. But sometimes the biggest problem is not that they don't capture the vision. It's not that they don't even want to work for you. Sometimes the biggest problem is you. Oh, I'm yelling. I'm sorry. I said I wasn't going to do this. I said I wasn't going to do this. I said I wasn't going to do this. But sometimes the biggest problem is you. Listen, Jasmine, I miss you so much. We need to chat. We need to have a meeting. Sometimes the problem is not anybody else, because guess what? I told you, church girl combined with business. The Bible simply says, write the vision and make it plain, so that those that read it may run with it. So you wondering why folk ain't running with your vision, but you ain't gave them nothing to run with. You trying to control listen, the biggest thing I learned in my business was to release the control. I had Jay Patton, John Patton, wherever you are. If y'all know John Patton, tell him I love him to the moon and back. And he knows that. But guess what? The first year or so that I worked with Jay, I wanted to control it all. Because this is my baby. This is my system. I got this. I got this. I got that. And then I had to learn. Jay may not get there the same way I will, but as long as he gets there, let me give him the freedom to get there. So let me write the vision for him so he knows what he's running with. Let me tell you, if you're going to scale to the next level, you need to be able to write the vision and hire the team. You can't do it. And so some of you, your consistency is being shaken because you're trying to do all things. You cannot grow your business doing every single thing. It doesn't work that way. I could not make the erect. Now, don't get me wrong now, boo-boo. I'm good at what I do. Hey. So, and the first few months, yes, I made them. I still had a team, but I was in the trenches. I knew how to make the arrangements better than anybody in the store. We used to have contests to see who could make it the fastest. And boy, I get that fruit going. I could still to this day probably make a delicious fruit design in about 4.3 seconds, right? I was good, but it was my business. But then I had to allow them to be good too. I had to allow them to be great. It wasn't a competition. I didn't need to be in control. I just needed to make sure that they were going to have the same level of service, and so that they would treat my customers in a way that I would. But that meant training, right? That meant then, though, I could consistently show up in a way that allowed me to grow the business and scale the business. See, some of you can't consistently show up to grow it because you're still in the trenches working in the business. You're still trying to put the fruit on the stick, when what you need to do now is find the orders so they can put the fruit on the stick. Right? So now you've got to learn the process of scaling and growth. And you know what? The biggest thing with consistency and then moving to that scale and growth is mindset. It's mindset. Listen, many of us don't have an entrepreneurial background. And so I'm giving you grace today. This is not about beating you up. It's about realizing when you shine that mirror in your face, what do you see? And then giving yourself the grace to grow in the places that you need to grow in. Giving yourself the grace to be. But then understanding, see, what happens is when the arrogant person says, oh, I don't need anybody, and everybody's a mess except me. See, I can't be like that if I want to grow. The person who really wants to grow will say, something ain't working right, and that something may be me. I may be a part of it. So now let me figure out all of the pieces, and how do we make this thing move forward? How many of you, let me ask a question as we talk about consistency. How many of you are tired of repeating the same cycles? Anybody you've repeated the same cycles. You go 2 to 3 years, you go 2 to 3 months, you go 4 to 6 months, and then it's the next cycle. And then it's the next cycle. And it's the same cycle over and over again. Can I come today and break every negative cycle off of you and your business? Can I please? I mean, in the name of Jesus, can I break every negative cycle? Now, here's the key. Number one, you got to recognize it. Number two, you got to be willing to do something about it. And then number three, you've got to push past where you are comfortable. See, here's what happens with cycles. We get accustomed to it. So if I'm accustomed to something, it's easy for me to repeat it because to grow means a level of discomfort. And who wants to be uncomfortable? Most people don't. And so we don't let anybody in. We shun everybody who try and help. We beat up all of our resources. People come, and we like, nah, we got it all together, because our arrogancy stops us from realizing that I ain't got it all together. Let me tell you, the most prolific moments that I've ever had in life is when I could look in the mirror and say, I ain't got it all together, y'all. I truly don't. I don't have it. I've never professed to having it. I don't have it all together. But what I am willing to do is to learn, to grow, and to figure it out. And man, have I made some mistakes along the way? Yes, I have. But I'm telling you that if you would allow yourself to suspend all of that and decide today, I am not going to repeat another cycle. I'm going to remain consistent. Because that cycle comes and it says that here's what happens. You start off good. You ran well, but who hindered you? You start off good. You marketing, you posting on social media, you in the flow, you talking to your customers, you moving, right? The activity, though, or the revenue and the income may not be matching the activity. Anybody ever had that happen? I got a bunch of activity going on over here, but my revenue is not matching. I feel God. I got a bunch of activity going on over here, but my revenue is not matching. So I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels. I'm doing a bunch of stuff. My activity is on point, but my revenue ain't nobody biting. Ain't nobody saying anything. Ain't nobody. Let me help you out. 7 to 10 touches before a customer will say yes. 7 to 10 touches before someone will say yes. So you over here doing this and doing this and doing this, and you don't realize people are watching you. Go off of social media and come back. I was at some place last night, and this lady said she went off of social media for 2 weeks and came back and had 6,000 views. People she didn't even know were watching. Go away and watch, right? Because people are watching you. They're trying to see, do you believe what you're saying? Are you consistent in your own self? They're waiting on you to see if you're going to stop, if you're going to give up, if you're going to give in. And then half of them are not your customer anyway. Half of them are just spectators. And so you haven't even found your customer avatar. So you're doing a whole bunch of activity with these friends and family who are not customers anyway. They're not going to buy from you anyway, boo-boo. So you trying to measure your success against people who are not even designed to be your customer. So you doing this, you doing this, you doing this. So activity is not matching revenue. What do? You keep going. You tweak and you keep going. You tweak and you keep going. What happens is 8 out of 10 will stop. Okay, let me give you my true testimony. Y'all want to hear my testimony? In 2014, when I sold edible arrangements, my goal was training. It was consulting. It was my entrepreneurial, stuff, water walker that I was doing. And I was doing it on a really consistent basis. And so as we were moving through that, here's the deal. I just had a total blank. Oh my God, y'all. Let me tell you. Listen, y'all, I'm telling, if I could just tell y'all, what's been going. Anyway, so I don't even know what I was talking about. I just drew a blank. I was telling y'all a story about something, and it was a true story, and I don't even remember what it was, and I'm just like stuck. Whew, okay, so have mercy. But anyway, oh God, what was I talking about? Like, I literally I need my ginkgo or whatever is for the brain juices, because I literally just went blank just that fast. But anyway, I was talking about consistency and the power of being consistent, and that you've got to show up. I literally have no idea where I was going with that, but you've got to show up in that moment, and you've got to remain consistent in your process. I'm waiting on somebody to prompt me, because I know somebody was listening to me, but you've got to remain consistent in your process. And in remaining consistent, what you do is you give yourself the opportunity to elevate to the next level. You give yourself the opportunity to move forward. I lost my audience because I cannot remember what I was saying. I'm so sorry. You give yourself the moment that you need to elevate to the next level. Consistency is your key. You must remain consistent. You must remain. Your testimony of 7 to 10 people. Listen, I don't even know where I was going. So it takes 7 to 10 touches. I know I said that will before people see what you are doing, and you've got to give them that opportunity to see. So many of you quit before it's time. I know. Here's my testimony. I'm sorry. Thank you. Oh my God. I got it. Okay. So 2014, I sold the business. I was doing the entrepreneurial stuff and I said, okay, I'm gonna go. Around the same time, anybody ever heard of Amy Porterfield? Does that name sound familiar? Amy Porterfield. Anybody know the name Amy Porterfield? Yeah, she's at about 8 figures now. She was really just starting her courses on teaching people the power of webinars. Okay. So we were starting at about the same time. Amy Porterfield, she was starting on webinars. I actually signed up for her first class and I got frustrated in the process. I didn't know how to maintain consistency. I quit and I gave up. Now imagine if I had kept going. Imagine if I had allowed myself to be uncomfortable. Imagine if I had refused to stop in the process. Imagine. How many of you are stopping in the process and not allowing yourself to be uncomfortable? Your greatest growth will come as a result of your discomfort. So find your place in business, find your product or service, stick with it and grow it. There's so much that is out here for you. I had the honor today of recording a message for a women's group. It was an empowerment message for a women's group. I recorded it this morning. And my message is simply this: the camels are coming. Listen, if you go read Isaiah 61-6, the camels are coming. What do I mean by that? There is a level of abundance. There is a level of wealth and prosperity and recompense that is coming to you and your business. Take the time, set up your systems so that you position yourself for the blessings that are headed your way. Be consistent. Show up, but don't just show up. Stay there, right? Some people show up and then they disappear. Show up. I'm an introvert. People don't realize that about me. I am truly an introvert. So consistency and showing up is something that I struggle with, because I like to hide and get in my corner and leave me alone. And yeah, I don't like any of that. I can talk when I gotta talk. I can be when I gotta be. I can do when I gotta do. But at the heart of who I am is this introvert who just leave me alone. Right? But I need you to position yourself in your business, and you start by being consistent. So I need you, as I close out this live, what are 3 things that you are going to do in your business to demonstrate consistency? What are those 3 things? If you blog, are you blogging regularly? If you are doing social media, do you post regularly? If so, why? Or if not, why not? And then what are you going to do to post regularly? If it's if you speak on Clubhouse or have a room, then what are you going to do? How often are you going to do it? I need 3 things that demonstrate your consistency. And I'll tell you this: if you don't come up with 3, at least give me 1 to 2 things that you say. In fact, let's give me 1 thing that said, from now through December, I'm going to consistently do X, Y, and Z. I want to know what that is. It could be one of the things I shared with them this morning about the strategy. Many of you are missing strategy, but the greatest place to get your strategy is in worship. I told y'all I was a church girl. You will fight more battles in worship than you will by out here going back and forth with people. There's 2 places I'm not about to do anymore, and that's back and forth with you or anybody else. Right? And so what are those things? It could be that you're going to have I'm going to have a disciplined, a consistent prayer life. It could be that I'm going to do a live every single weekday. It could be I'm going to do a blog once a week for the rest of the year. It could be that whatever, Dorothea, listen. Whatever it is, I need you to set that space and decide what you are going to do. And then do it. It's just that simple. And then do it. So, one thing, and find you an accountability partner, send that one thing to them and ask them to hold you accountable. Let me tell you what my consistency is going to be. I love it, Monica. Please stop hiding. The world needs your voice. The world needs you to show up. Hey, Jonette. Hey, cousin. I love you so much. Dorothea, you know I love you. Here's one of the things. My weight has been up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And guess what I figured? I'm the problem. My lack of discipline and my lack of consistency has meant that my weight is in. And then when I feel like it or I don't feel like it, I'm somewhere I don't want to do it, and I don't. And I quit on me. How many of you have quit on you? Forget what everybody else is doing. We could talk about what everybody else is doing. But if you treating yourself like everybody, like you say and complain about everybody else, then why are you complaining? If you're quitting on you, why do you expect people to stick in with you? Stop quitting on you, because can I tell you, you are so worth it. You are so absolutely worth it. And I'm so excited about you and what you're going to accomplish. So God bless y'all. I love you. I didn't mean for it to be this long. I say that all the time, but pick one thing and stay consistent and true to it. God bless you all. Share, 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 share. Find your accountability partner. What is that one thing you're going to do consistently from now through the end of the year? Hey, Pastor Robin, love me some you. God bless y'all. I love you madly. Y'all be blessed.